Well, welcome to another session of live from the Clifton Market Cafe. Everything Clifton. We're going to have we always have a chair here for you. We'll be here for the next hour and a half talking about everything Clifton. Of course, the big news is the market, and we got a new manager, and we're restocking the store. And there's going to be a meeting of the shareholders like Tuesday the 27th. We'll get to that later. I guess I can look that up now and see if we can get the information straight away. Bruce Ault, one of the board members of the market, posted something on NextDoor, and it would here's a nice post from Irene Moore, my partner. Clifton Market volunteer. As Mama used to say, if you see something that needs to be done, do it. Don't tell me about it. For me, I like to take my 409 spray and go over the tiles around the floor in both powder rooms. I never like dirt buildup in corners. I see a cashier begging, I dash forward and bag the groceries, sweep, dust, pick up trash, return carts from the parking lot, greet and thank other customers, wipe up a spill, a broken pumpkin in the store window. For me, it is taking ownership. Everyone has their own suggestions for what needs to be done. Okay, go forward with your implementation. I regret Clifton Market does not have a formal volunteer coordinator. For now, we depend on NextDoor, and thanks to you for the efforts you do, which may be invisible to others. So thank you, Irene Moore, for that. It's a classic, fantastic post. And this is the post by Bruce Ault. As we discussed in our last email update, the market is on the verge of bankruptcy. We reached a low point on Wednesday when the market's shelves were bare. Our vendors had terminated our lines of credit, and we no longer had enough cash on hand to make COD purchases to stock the shelves. The board was essentially left with two choices. One, close the doors, which would run the very real risk of shutting down the market forever. Two, partner with a private entity to create a short-term solution, giving us time to bring viable long-term options to the shareholders for their consideration and vote. On Wednesday, the board signed Gurmukh Singh to a 45-day management agreement. While Mr. Singh has also approached the board about a potential purchase agreement for the building, equipment, and business, the current management agreement contains no commitment for such a purchase, as any such agreement requires shareholder approval. Mr. Singh will be in charge of the market's day-to-day operations during this time and has already made credit arrangements with vendors to ensure that the market can be stocked during this period. The market received a number of deliveries yesterday and today, and the market once again has produce, meat, dairy, beer, wine, and dry goods on the shelves. We also have further deliveries scheduled for next week to help you with your last-minute Thanksgiving preparations. As previously announced, the board has scheduled a meeting of the shareholders for the November 27th at 6:30 p.m. at the Masonic Lodge located at 218 Ludlow Avenue. If you go up past Paulo's, it's on the left up the hill before the library. Please enter through the back door. At this meeting, Eric Goring, our recently retained attorney who specializes in distressed businesses such as ours, will outline the options currently available for the market going forward. If these options have been fully vetted by our lenders, attorney, and the board, we should be able to present them to the shareholders for a vote. Any such vote will also include a mechanism for absentee balloting. The board will not make any long-term decision without a vote from the shareholders. As always, the best thing you can do to help the market is to shop, shop, shop. Thank you for your continued support, and thank you, Bruce Ault, for the clear, concise statement about what's happening. Let's just go see. Anna Donnell of Northside posted supporting Clifton Market. Many of us are aware that Clifton Market is struggling and many shelves are not well stocked. They reduced their hours, so thank you. And then Helena Ault called, thanks to the Clifton Market volunteers. Helena is Bruce's partner. Thank you to the volunteers who work from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Friday to stock the shelves of the market. Seeing inventory on the shelves speaks to your dedication. So there's a Bruce here, a post here by David. Clifton Market public record info on potential new owners of Clifton Market. So you can go to read that if you like. Paul Wesselman posted hope fades, final prayers for Clifton Market, and it was a massively long text, but nonetheless, I think the main thing to see here is that we need to generate the traffic that Killers showed during their successful period. And I have a hard time explaining this or getting people to understand that when I come here, we have 10% of what the people we need here. So I'm still trying to discover how to encourage people, but without irritating them. I guess what I'm looking forward to is reaching the people who didn't know and want to know. I don't want anybody to be left out saying that I didn't know that I was needed in this capacity. So it's a tough communication, but I think the key to the solution is to look at the sales figures every week. It's a simple number, and we can certainly tell if we're running in the black if we look at the number. Oh, great. I'm live on YouTube. You want to sit down and say hello? I see you got your shopping bags.
I do.
I left mine.
Right now?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Don't worry, the camera makes everybody look good. Scoot in here.
Hi, Tom.
Yeah.
Hi, folks. I've got my reusable shopping bags, and I've got my list with my cute little guitar playing squirrel.
Oh my gosh, it's just like me. I'm so
I know.
jealous.
Do you like my kids' spelling of chocolate, chocotate milk, and parmesan? You love that? And then I've got my favorite soup recipe, chicken, mushroom, and wild rice soup. It's delicious. Got it from in my little page protector here. I just brought the whole thing.
Great.
Because I hear that I can get everything that I need at Clifton Market today.
Yes, the store is being restocked.
Great. So I need mushrooms. You think I'll be able to find mushrooms?
Oh, no question about it.
No question about the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Okay. And I need some wild rice. So hopefully I can find some wild rice. We'll see.
Yes,
Yeah.
wild
We'll
rice.
work on it.
We put some rice on the shelves
good,
the other day,
okay.
but it was the specialty rices are all back there.
Great. Okay, cool. So tell me about how it went on Friday when you were restocking. What was it like?
Well, we mostly learned how to coordinate numbers on the product with the shelves.
Okay, so is there a number on the box and then you had to coordinate it on the...
Yeah, it's the barcode, and the barcode is numbers listed on the shelf, and it was really a wonderful effort, and we look forward to more such efforts. But the big effort is shopping.
Right.
I struggle to say this, but right now the market has about 5% of the people in it that need to be in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've come to the conclusion that when the market is successful, it is going to be a thriving, bustling crowd, like all the time.
Right. It needs to be, we need to have full traffic.
Full traffic.
Full of people would mean that the numbers are right.
Yes.
Okay.
And as much as we've never run in the black since we opened.
Mm-hmm.
People have had a false sense of security that the lenders were lending, we weren't coming up to the table.
Right.
So the false sense of security has been given a reprieve.
Right. I think it's good for people to know that it really is go time. It's crunch time, right? I mean, we need to.
Oh, yes.
We need to shop right now. If you like the market, you need to shop right now. I was just at church at Calvary Episcopal up the street, and Helena Ault made an announcement during the service, about the restocking and encouraging everyone to go. And then a couple of people said, "Oh yeah, I was just there and I got everything I needed." And so here I am with my list for the day. Going to get my Thanksgiving salad fixings and all that. But thank you for doing this.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thanks to you and Irene for all that you're doing in the market.
We're kind of like two farmers encouraging people to be farmers.
Not telling people what to plant.
Right.
Just helping them with their
be
resources.
A farmer.
You're like an extension office.
We're extension.
Good to see you.
So folksy, so homey. I should be more belligerent, but I'm not.
Bye, Clifton. Be nice. Shop here.
Thank you, Abe. Thank you, Abby. So that's pretty exciting. Let's see what else we have on social media. It doesn't get much better than what's happening on NextDoor. We're very thankful for NextDoor. It hits our target audience. There's been a lot of buzz on CCAC's proposal to the Cincinnati Park Board. Leslie Mooney posted on NextDoor. Thank you for the community members who were able to attend the Park Board meeting this morning to hear further information from the CCAC. The Park Board has posted the following on their website, so we're going to download that and read it because it's very important. There's always the CCAC has been going around to the various community councils, Coreyville, Cuff. It was my belief that Brunet Woods is in Coreyville, but then I heard that it might have been in Cuff. So anyway, those two are the main representatives to the city and the Park Board about what to do in Brunet Woods. It says here, date November 15th, the Park Board to the Park Board Commissioners from Wade A. Walcott, Director of Parks. Subject CCAC proposal for Brunet Woods design plans. Background. The Clifton Cultural Arts Center has focused on 2 different sites in Brunet Woods as a potential home for their new facility. They have separately submitted their business and fundraising plan and have now developed concept plans for a new building and associated site improvements. The board is being asked to review this information and provide a sense of description. The CCAC has submitted plans for 2 different potential sites in Brunet Woods. One is at the southwest corner of the park at the intersection of Martin Luther King Boulevard and Clifton Avenue. Currently, that was the site where they had the trapeze, and up on the hill they have a stone sculpture built with various stone artifacts from a building that once existed. And one is adjacent, and the other one is adjacent to the upper shelter and playground just south of the bandstand. If you've ever been up there, there's a little shelter with facilities there, and there's a swing set and a playground area. At this early stage in the design process, the plans can best be described as conceptual plans, since so more time would be needed to advance these concepts into building and site plans. The conceptual plans are adequate, however, to assess the likely impacts on the park. For both sites, the basic approach is to create a building that sits lightly on the land in terms of energy and water use, site orientation and selection of materials, employing best practices and green design. Both building concepts also include outdoor programming components in the landscape and using existing parking as much as possible to fulfill the parking requirements. The Clifton King site, this is a flat open lawn area with no utilities, trees, or park features. The concept plan shows a low sculptural building form seemingly partially embedded in the site due to contoured landforms and landscape, and with a part of the lower floor set below grade. It is sited along the parallel to King Boulevard. It would have a footprint of 13,900 square feet and a total of 20,000 square feet counting both floors. It is planned to have an interior courtyard of 1,000 square feet and would be 24 feet above grade at its highest point. Much of the roof is being contemplated as a green roof and would be 11,600 square feet, or over 80% of the building roof area. Servicing and pedestrian areas would constitute another 2,300 square feet in total. Not counting the green roof, the building courtyard and service areas would have a footprint of 17,200 square feet. Parking would be provided primarily by using the existing on-street parking along Brookline, which borders the east side of the site. Upper Shelter site. This site is lawn area west of the Upper Shelter with stepped building forms paralleling Clifton Avenue. The site is above the wooded slope bordering Clifton Avenue and across the street from Good Sam Hospital. This is the site that's just south of the bandstand. The building would contain 10,000 square feet on each of 2 floors. Additionally, approximately 2,400 additional square feet would be taken up with pedestrian and service areas, including a building and site development footprint of 12,300 square feet. The building would be 16 feet above grade at its highest point. A green roof of 7,000 square feet is being contemplated and would be 70% of the building's roof area. Parking would be provided using existing parking at the site and on the roadway around the bandstand. Findings. Determining the overall impact of the park takes into account the following criteria: environmental impact, functional impact, compatibility with design character of the park, compatibility with the master plan and design planning guidelines, contribution to park board mission, goals and programs, and contribution to enhancement and improvement of Brunet Woods. The environmental impact. An ecological study of Brunet Woods was conducted by Davy Resources Group in 2006. For the park board. The study characterized all environmental attributes of the park and determined areas of sensitivity based on such attributes as slopes, vegetation, habitat, and wetlands, for example. The Clifton King site. The site at King and Clifton Avenue was identified as one of the park areas with no significant environmental attributes and was characterized as an area of low sensitivity. In other words, development in such areas would have no significant impact on the ecology of the park. Development on this site would not impact the tree canopy, stormwater, wetlands, or any other identified environmental attributes. The building footprint would replace lawn. The amount of green space that would be lost to the building, parking, and site improvements is 17,200 square feet. The square footage of proposed green roof is 11,500. The Upper Shelter site. The site in the upper shelter was also identified in the 2006 study as an area of low environmental sensitivity. The building footprint and parking would appear to require the removal and replacement of 2 small trees. The amount of lawn area covered by the building and site improvements is 12,300 square feet. The square footage of proposed green roofs is 7,000 square feet. Functional impact. Functional impacts include the new development would impact pedestrian and vehicular traffic, how it might impact park use such as picnic areas and playgrounds, or how it might impact everyday use of the park. Hey, Carla. I'm live on YouTube. You want to come over and say hello? Here, the Clifton King site. The site contains no facilities such as picnic areas or walkways and no utilities. The site placement of the building and the activity that a CCAC building would generate on this site would not interfere with the park use and would bring more people to this little used part of the park. Parking and vehicular circulation would have an impact on across into and out of this section of the park and would have to be carefully designed to facilitate traffic flow. The upper shelter site. A location here would require the replacement of a small swing set, though this is scheduled for replacement anyway. It would introduce more activity into this area of the park though the area already functions as an activity area, shelter, playground, bandstand, picnic area. Its placement in the proximity to the existing upper shelter would not impair use of the shelter. So the shelter that's there already would stay. That shelter is up above the bandstand, and there's a new design play set for children, and then right south of that is the shelter with facilities and a covered area for picnics, and the area the building would be on would be just west of that where there's an old swing set. Design compatibility. Both buildings are proposed to be sculptural forms, partially embedded in their sites, such as that part of the building would be below grade. Visually reducing the height of the building, stone would be a major exterior material which would be compatible with the stone retaining walls found in the park and the stone walls of existing park buildings. Their placement would be such that no significant views would be compromised. The Clifton King site. A building and its associated site development at this prominent location would be a significant change to the site. It would change from an open lawn area to a structure and development site. It would be a loss of open space and lawn, but it would also introduce a new facility that could serve as a gateway to the park and new physical definition of the site, which currently has no sense of physical boundary or presence. Its design calls for part of the building to be below grade and to create earth forms and landscape that would visually reduce the apparent size of the building. Green roofs would further reduce its visual impact. The upper shelter site, a building and its site development at this location is more interior to the park and therefore less noticeable from outside the park compared to the above location. It would be screened by the existing wooded slope on the west and an existing upper shelter. And by the virtue of topography of the site, given the slopes adjacent to this site, the existing roadway and parking and the location of trees here, the building would have to be carefully placed to avoid impacts and to comfortably fit the site. Its design at this early stage does not yet adequately respond to the existing shelter and would benefit from the introduction of more glazed openings to take advantage of the park setting. Take care, see you. The master plan. The 2007 Centennial Master Plan called for new partnerships and collaborations to help carry out park programs, park improvements, and the provision of services. The CCAC proposal is consistent with and would further 18 specific recommendations of the master plan listed in the previous Brunet Woods Vision Plan and Planning Properties Principles Report. The King site, the Brunet Woods Master Plan, did not show a new building at this location, but it did recommend establishing a pedestrian entrance and gateway to the park at the corner of King and Clifton. A CCAC facility at this site would help serve as this proposed gateway. The upper shelter site. The plan called for a new 2-story restaurant along the Clifton Avenue edge of the park, close to and just north of the upper shelter location. This was to be at least 2 stories tall with a main level along Clifton and an upper level or levels close to this location and opening onto this site, close to the upper shelter and bandstand. Additionally, this general area of the shelter, bandstand, at playground and picnic areas was one of the 2 recommended activity areas in the master plan, the other being the area of the lake, trailside, and the valley. The hilltop area of wooded slopes between these 2 facility areas was recommended as the natural area, which is the reason that the roadway dividing the natural area into 2 zones was recommended for removal so that the woods and trails could function as a single protected unit. I think that was where they were trying to move the road that came off Clifton. The reason that the roadway dividing the natural area into 2 zones was recommended for removal. Design guidelines and planning principles. These cover some of the same criteria as described above and are listed in the Planning Principles Report. These guidelines address conservation of historic buildings and landscapes, respecting the history and visual character of the site, respecting natural resources relating to the topography and landscape, and using green building practices, among several other principles. The both proposed buildings and the site development plans are generally consistent with these guidelines, though the upper shelter site's building design requires modification and refinement to better meet guidelines. Jack? The proposals call for sustainable green buildings to follow best practices for environmentally sound. Hey, you wanna sit down and say hello? Okay, thanks, Jack. Contribution to the park board mission. The CCAC facility in the park would bring new and expanded programming to the park, which is called for in the master plan and is a general goal of the parks. Further, CCAC would provide these programs and services at no cost to the parks and furthers the park's goal of creating new partnerships and new ways of providing programs and services without significantly increasing the burden on the park's operating budget. Contribution to the Brunet Woods enhancement. The CCAC has committed to funding part of the proposed master plan improvements to the park. Their intent is through rent payments, fundraising, new market tax credits, and other contributions to help implement aspects of the master plan and to assist in the ongoing maintenance and operation of the park. Conclusion. Based on the conceptual plans and the above analysis, both sites and both building and development plans generally meet the criteria. There are a number of concerns, however, that need to be satisfactorily resolved by the CCAC, and these design plans develop and evolve as follows. Hey, Alexis. Site development. Basic issues of where parking is located and how far it is from building entrances, overall accessibility to the site and to the building, and how pedestrian and vehicular circulation will function, all need to be worked out in detail. This includes showing how the building will be serviced, where the dumpster is located, and where if there is a vehicle drop-off location. The details require accurate surveying of existing trees and root zones, grades, utilities, and other site conditions. These plans will also need to show building entrances, exterior plazas and seating, and any outdoor activity areas and landscape plans. Building design. Concept plans cannot adequately convey the building envelope, which needs to be detailed enough to show window and door placement. Materials and design. These further developed plans are needed to assure the building meets design guidelines and compatibility with the character of the park. Howdy. Also, due to the unique character of the building concepts, much further development of landforms, landscapes, and how the building will sit on a site are needed to judge the fit of the park. The green elements. With the intent to create a green building, plans need to be developed to demonstrate how the proposed building and site will employ best practices in environmentally sustainable design, including how the building and the site will address stormwater and energy consumption. Compatibility with the Brunet Woods plans. The upper shelter site design needs to be adequately respond to the proposed new stairway and pathways proposed along Clifton Avenue. Oh, hi.
So you're gonna ask me questions, or I just say something?
Oh, hi.
Can you
Great.
make me look skinny?
Well, the camera always makes everybody look better.
I think I need to suck it in or something.
Don't worry, you're fine, you're fine. You can just introduce yourself.
Hi, good morning. I'm Gurmukh Singh, the manager here at Clifton Market now, trying to keep the doors open and keep this store here for a long time to come.
Well, it's a huge task, and how are things going?
It is a huge task, but so far I'm really impressed with the response we got from the people. People are coming back, they are shopping here, and I think that's a really positive thing, positive sign. And I think it's going to be a really successful store just by changing a few things here and there, managing the inventory and the funds the right way. I think this store will be here for a long time.
So what are the changes you thinking about?
We will add, I think, like looking at the clientele that shops here, it'll be supply and demand, like adding some international groceries. I think that will make the sales number go up. Also, just managing the payroll, managing the inventory, put the stock on the shelf that move, get rid of some of the excessive inventory that hasn't moved in years, and just kind of like supply and demand. Just have the stuff that people are looking for, and keep it at the market that community is proud of, that looks good, that feels good to shop here, just by supplying what people are looking for.
And what can we do?
As a community, I guess, spread the positive word and shop here, and let the people know that market is going strong. It's not in trouble. It's not going to shut down. We will be making it. The parking lot will be fixed. Things that needs to be worked on, it's going to get done. So, just by spreading the positive word will help a lot. Yeah.
And communication has always been difficult. And I'm so happy that you're here. I hope that we can interview you quite continually.
Yeah, you're gonna see me here every day. I'm a workaholic. I work a lot, and I'll be here from morning to evening. And another thing that we're gonna do here is listen to people. We'll have a suggestion box. I will put my email out there, my phone number out there. If for any reason people need to reach me, I'm accessible.
Well, that's going to go a long way to helping just the customers get that perfect experience we want them to have.
Yeah, I believe so. Sure, I believe so. I think at the end it's just giving people what they're looking for and listening to them and providing them the service and just be a neighborhood store, a store that neighborhood is proud of, and in the long run, create a store that gives back to community, that supports the community, that makes whatever it does to preserve the community, like the look and this historic look of this Ludlow Avenue. We want to keep it the same way, and we want to make sure that doesn't change.
Well, tell us a little bit about your who you are and your history.
Well, I was 15 years old when my parents brought me here. My dad moved here in the United States in 60s, I believe. So I was born in India. So I came here when I was 15, and I came to Clifton and fell in love with Clifton. So I met my wife here in high school. All of our 3 kids were born here in Clifton at Good Sam Hospital. They attended Clifton Elementary. My oldest daughter attended Concordia Lutheran School over there in Clifton. So we spent a lot of our life in Clifton and fell in love with the neighborhood. And we, ever since, and then I've been running restaurants here for the last 6 years. We have 2 restaurants in Clifton.
What are the names of them?
Elephant Walk over there on Macmillan. And we had the Shemesh India over there by Cincinnati State, but that's sold. We're no longer there because I'm focusing more on the market now. So we still have Elephant Walk by UC. So we always been part of Clifton ever since my first day that I came to the States. And I'm going to do whatever I can to save this market and be part of the community.
Well, your father came here and moved to Clifton because of the welcoming nature for everybody from the Middle East to India to Asia.
Yes, I believe so. He was here. He moved here in 1960s, and he'd been here. He was here ever since. He used to live over there on Macmillan, and then we were living on Eden Avenue. And I grew up playing in the Brunet Woods. We used to play volleyball there. Loved the park. Loved that lake there. Everything about Clifton is so heartwarming. It's just like you fell in love with it. Yeah. So here we are, and years later, I'm still here.
Well, thank you for stepping in. We certainly look forward to working with you closely and doing anything. Tell me something to do right now.
What you're doing now, that's awesome. You're always here, and I appreciate what you do. And this is just spreading the word. You're doing a good job.
Well, I wish I could say that all I've done has been able to increase sales, but I have not seen any increased sales. In fact, the market is kind of like running in the red the whole time it's been open.
Yeah, it will get there. It will get there. I think sometimes just the pieces doesn't fit in the right place, but I think we're headed that way now. I see nothing but positive and good things in the future. And I think very soon we'll be in the green. And it just needs a little bit of hard work, and I'm not afraid to do that. And we're going to get it there. Yeah, it'll be there.
Well, we'll both be here to cover it.
Yeah.
So I thank you very much, and this is a great opportunity with Thanksgiving coming up. I'm looking forward to the sales numbers on Monday to see what our result is, because those numbers really tell its story.
Yeah, the numbers, in a business, unfortunately, it is about numbers. The numbers have to work out. So I think if we have the community love, the sport, and that part is going to take care of its own. As long as, the people are here and we're providing with the stuff that they need and the service and friendly service, the numbers will work out. They always do. Yeah.
Well, I really feel like the numbers tell the truth.
Yes.
And in the past, it's been tough to talk about those numbers, but I think we need to really just say, we're doing what we can, but here's the numbers. I don't want to upset people to think that we're trying to get them to come in the store and we're trying to muscle them or push them around, or we're just trying to supply a store.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, you can't force people to do anything. It's like you are here, you do the right thing, you stock the store up, it's nice, it's neat, it's clean, and why won't you fall in love with it? You will, I think, and when you have that store that its community is proud of and it gives back to community, you feel good sporting instead of like some big chains, and it's a small community store that gives back to the community, and why don't you want to be part of that? Nobody needs to be forced. It's just it's just a common sense and common things that we should all do for Clifton and for us.
Yeah, well, that reminds me of the slogan I put up here. It says "Fall in Love," the window treatment, and I think when I can't wait till after Thanksgiving because then I get to put up the Christmas window treatments, and maybe we'll have to use the same slogan.
Sure.
But just be a Christmas theme.
Yeah, I think I can't wait either. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Tom.
And pronounce your first name again.
Gurmukh.
Gurmukh.
Yeah.
Gurmukh. Okay,
Yeah.
because we got to say that over and over.
All
Gurmukh
right.
Singh.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you for
very
everything.
much. Now left. Couldn't hope for a better. Conversation from Gurmukh. We've got two big major, see y'all, two major topics here in Clifton, the market and the CCAC relocating in the market. And I was reading the first part of this study, but it's 53 pages long. And in the back part of it, it has conceptual drawings of the building site. It goes on extensively about where these sites are, overhead aerial pictures. Just an incredible report and sort of a speculation of what's happening. It's just, to go to the report, it's just unbelievable how much time they put in it, how they're making the building. I always imagined a building that would be futuristic or in a green building way, and it certainly shows a shocking use of green building technology, especially the site above the bandstand. They preserved the shelter house, and the site sits on that hillside, right where that old time swing set was. And it's just a unbelievable plan. So I'm sorry I don't have a comprehensive answer to this proposal from Preserve Brunet Woods, but as soon as I find one, we'll mention it. I'm not going to stop going on with this because I think you got the gist of it. 53 pages. I was going to print it out, but I'm glad I didn't because 53 pages would have been pretty long. So, wow, what an incredible story. And then also there's two other links, the CCAC Capital Campaign and the Park Board Summary and the CCA Business Plan. So over the next time we're interviewing, hello, welcome to Clifton Market. We'll go on and delve into that more. Oh, Reed Hartman's selling a dryer. It's electric for $50. Laura and Stevie Ratey, they have some nice pictures of animals in Brunet Woods. As you might imagine, there were a lot of leaves down in the neighborhood due to the ice storm. Here, Tim Hoff of Corryville posted about the Corryville Community Council meeting where the Leslie Muni presented at the meeting, and here it says the Avondale Community Council voted for allowing the CCAC to locate in the park. And then Carolyn Young says, according to the City Planning Department, Brunet Woods is located in Cuff. So and then Tim Hoff mentions something about the fact that maybe it doesn't belong to Cuff. It's always been an issue in the past, and now I guess we're going to get to the bottom of it. And so Jodie Zultowsky comes in and says, I just emailed the Corryville Community Council, and she gives the address to inform them that the people who actually use Brunet Woods and who have come to the prior community engagement sessions are against the CCAC building in Brunet Woods, turning green space into concrete forever. The CCAC has not made a strong case for building basically a rental space in the park. I believe their myopic proposal is to take advantage of cheap rent of parkland, free parking, and a donor-financed expensive building. The CCAC should choose to relocate near a business district to add vitality to that location. Brunet Woods does not need the CCAC. And Ann Enris Stove says, great idea, Jodie. I just did too. Thanks for the email address. Bonnie Williams-Spegg says, Tim Hall for the CCAC got it in their heads to jackhammer Brunet Woods and will not stop because they could never get over having to give back their building on Clifton Avenue, and that had a contract lease with CPS that had a clause that said the lease could be broken, but they forgot to read it. Well, that's a little contentious. Jodie Zultowsky comes in. I appreciated CCAC too until their leaders decided to divide the community with their proposal and seemed content to keep doing so. Cincinnati Parks enabled them not by nipping it in the bud. In the end, I believe Brunet Woods will be better for the fight because the community is coming together to exemplify greater stewardship toward the park. That's certainly true. I think the volunteers, the 350 volunteers for Preserve Brunet Woods will make a great addition to maintaining the park. Gee, Kelsey Fosen-Logan says, most of the community has little interest in what CCAC offers. So I guess you're speaking for everyone. Gee, that was from Larry Maslak. Email to Corryville Community Council. Putting CCAC in the Brunet Woods is truly an awful idea. It should not happen. It is a case of something desired by an affluent and elitist few, the CCAC, taking and damaging a unique urban oasis beloved by the general community. Most of the community has little interest in what the CCA offers, and some are not financially able to. The CCAC should take advantage of their opportunities elsewhere and not damage the community. So there was a Cincinnati, Jodie Zultowsky chimed in. The Cincinnati Park Board meeting this Thursday, November 15th, 9 a.m. at the Cincinnati Art Museum to accommodate the large crowd, during which the CCAC will present their proposal for Brunet Woods. So, well, it goes on and on and on, as you might imagine. You can read on and on. I guess we're just going to have to see how many comments were on that thread. 80. It's probably the maximum. So that shows there's two major issues in Clifton: the CCAC relocation and Clifton Market. So, on a lighter note, let's see what we can find out on the music listings at CityBeat. Take care. Saturday, Sunday music listings and CityBeat. See if there's anything going on. Sunday, Bogarts. Death from Above with Les Bougerettes. It's alternative rock. It's at 8:30 and it's $22. The Cafe Vivace, Psycho Acoustic Orchestra, 2:30 p.m. It's jazz. Cafe Vivace is located on Calhoun, I believe. Latitude Bar and Bistro. I wonder where that is. The Motor Pub. And that's all. That's all. It's close to Clifton, so that's that. Let's see what. You can always go to cliftoncommunity.org and sign up to receive an email. Look at this. I have my name tag upside down the whole time. Nobody told me. You can go to cliftoncommunity.org and get emails sent to you with current news. I enjoy reading them. Thanks very much to Kevin Marsh. The City Council is proposing an ordinance on short-term rentals. I believe this was a special meeting that they voted on to whether to support this. It was brought together by Councilmember David Mann, our Clifton neighbor. He has prepared a top guidelines document outlining his goals for the ordinance, and if you had the email, you could click on it. Also, the location of District 5 headquarters has been narrowed down to 2 sites. One of them is at 3300 Central Parkway. It's in between the rest end and the car wash. It's the old city building where people could go in and get permits quickly. And the other one is at 5837 Hamilton Avenue in College Hill. And I don't know really where that is on 8750 College Hill. So this took place at the special meeting that CTM brought together. Let's see, 5837. Let's find out where that location is. It's near Lohre's Pizza in College Hill and Brink Brewery. Looks like it's up at the top of the hill, just before North Bend. So that's where the 2 proposed sites are. Of course, Clifton wants it to be on Central Parkway. Clifton Business and Professional Association is having a meeting this Monday at 3 o'clock. It's their regular meeting on every 3rd Monday at 3 o'clock in the basement of the U.S. Bank. This is a reminder that the next Clifton Business and Professional Association meeting is on Monday, November 19th, tomorrow at 3 p.m. at U.S. Bank. It's in the lower level, 425 Ludlow Avenue, 45220. The agenda is as follows. UC Marketing and Public Relations Group update. Marketing and Promotion of Business District and Plaza with CTM President Christine Seltzer. Nominations and January elections. The Treasurer's Report and miscellaneous. So thank you, Anna Ferguson of World Peace Yoga, for sending out that agenda. I hope that I could attend. I'm very interested in the student marketing and public relations group and working with the market. Also, I've reached out to SCORE. SCORE is a group of retired executives that help businesses. I'm hoping to We partner with a retired executive to help the market. We have a communications problem, and with a limited marketing budget, we need to use everything possible. There might be some things I haven't thought of. The CPS Magnet enrollment is going on now. The round one of the lottery went open at November 6th and continues till December 14th. There are 2 more lottery rounds follow for applications not submitted in round one. Parents are encouraged to enter the application process in round one because magnet seats fill up quickly. The Golden Ticket Show is ongoing at the Trailside Nature Center. And it's amazing how things have changed and events come and go. But the Greater Cincinnati Waterworks is offering free lead testing. Take care. Thank you. You can call 513-651-35323 for a free lead test kit. It's 513-651-5323. You can always email them at lead, L-E-A-D, at mygcww.org. Tenants have the right to know before signing a lease whether the residence, business, and other location which the tenant intends to rent is served by a lead service line. Ask your landlord. Hello, welcome to the market. Howdy. Property owners who opt to go through the Greater Cincinnati Waterworks lead service line replacement program and have a Greater Cincinnati Waterworks contractor perform the replacement of the privately owned lead service line will receive cost sharing from the Greater Cincinnati Waterworks of 40% of the cost with a maximum of $1,500. Property owners in the city of Cincinnati can also choose to have the cost. Howdy. Fine. The cost of replacement added to their property taxes through a special assessment for 5 or 10 years. So you can read more at the Lead Awareness website. Take care. So if you go to the cliftoncommunity.org website, you can see the daily updated crime statistics. But I suggest viewing it on a desktop because I tried it with my mobile phone and the data doesn't seem to come off well on a Samsung Note 4. Do you have any questions about fixing things in the city? I'm live on YouTube. You want to come over and say hello? Come on. It's a blurry camera. You don't have to. Here, sit right here. Here we are, right here. You can see yourself in the camera. You can introduce yourself.
I'm Carol Friel. I'm on the board of the Clifton Market and happy to see the shelves stocked.
Yes. We just had an interview with Mr. Singh earlier.
Good.
And the shelves are going to continue to be stocked.
Yep.
And
Yep.
hopefully by Wednesday we'll have it fully stocked.
I think so. We've come through a low point, but now we're doing better, doing well.
And do you have any inside information?
Nothing I can share.
Oh, nothing. No, that's
Right.
well, we have the meeting coming up, the 27th.
27th, right, the 27th. There will be options to vote on for all the shareholders, so be sure to come.
Well, I think it's very exciting that Mr. Singh is working with trying to preserve the market as it is, because that would preserve the investment of the community.
That's right. He will keep the market running, and I think that's what most of us want.
Because if the building, the company would be sold, the investment would be lost.
That's right. So this should work out very well for everybody.
Well, that brings up another point about that the customers we need. I think if you went to Kroger right now, it'd be pretty busy, and it's not too busy here.
This is true. I just had to go to Kroger's to pick up some stuff for a big meeting today. It was pretty crowded. And what we really need, we need our shareholders and their neighbors and their friends to be shopping regularly, at least once a week, at the Clifton Market. So you'll find most everything you want. So come on down.
Well, it kind of remind me of the old Keller's IGA. I mean, when I was here, it was hard to say that I arrived 15 years ago when it was peaked out, but in the old days, Keller's must have been a thriving, bustling store.
It was. I used to shop at Keller's all the time, and everybody did. You would see all your friends and neighbors, and that's what we're hoping for at Clifton Market again.
That's what we have to look forward to, like a huge surge of.
Yeah, that's right, a huge surge. And now that we've, come through the low point with all the shelves empty, there's plenty of things here for you to buy. So come to the Clifton Market and get all your groceries.
We're trying to make the buying experience very pleasurable. That's probably the key. The customers are listened to, and what they have to say is acted upon.
Yes, yeah, I agree. The help are all very friendly and very happy to help you, and I know it's just a great place to shop.
Well, how long have you been on the board now? About half a year?
About half a year, yes, since since July, I guess. Less than half a year, just a few months.
Well, it must be I can't thank you enough for sticking your head into the frying pan, because you're just citizens, trying to run a business, and you kind of had to learn on the job.
Yeah, that's right. And it's been, kind of tricky, kind of touchy, but I think now we've come through a difficult state, and everything is going to look up from now on. I think so.
Well, it's true that the market has never really run in the black since it opened.
No.
And the sales figures every week sort of tell the tale. And before it was very hard to talk about them, but I think they need to be talked about.
Right. If we had, I don't know, something like 150,000 in sales every week, we could cover our expenses. But to do that, we need all of our shareholders and all of our friends and neighbors, or a great many of them, to come here to shop.
Well, for quite a while, we were hovering around 110,
Yes.
but still 40,000 less than what we needed.
Yeah. You can't run a business that way for too long. That's what we were grappling with last week and the week before. So I just feel that we're on an upswing now.
So do you think I should put a barometer in the window and have like a little thing, a scale, like this, something like that?
How many shareholders are shopping? And so, yeah, sure, that might be fun.
Really,
like
just the sales.
Sales,
Every weekly,
sure.
the meter would be at a certain place. Good, very good, not so good.
Not so good. I don't know. I could bring that up at the next board meeting. That might be fun.
Well, when I put the window treatment for the fall, I didn't know whether it's going to really hold out. But now I can see that I'm going to have to change this right after Thanksgiving for the winter.
That's right.
Seasonal. I have to put the frosty, the snowman, and everything.
Right. It's time for holiday decorations already. So those are pretty up there, but
Well, we're
I
gonna-
still have to go.
I think I might use the same slogan. Let's see, Frozen in Love.
Oh, all right. Yeah, well, Frozen was that big movie that everybody loved. So, yeah, we could use that.
Frozen in Love with Clifton Market.
Frozen in Love with Clifton Market. Great. That sounds great.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting being at the bottom of the bell curve here, and I won't have to go live on top of the building.
Right. And thank you, Tom, for everything you've done for the market and that you're continuing to do. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you. It's hard to see a positive result, but you cannot deny that it's been positive. It's just, I'm trying to find that magic bullet, and I discovered that there is no magic bullet.
No, it's just kind of hard work, one shopper at a time, and we'll get to where we need to be. So, yeah, it's really great now. So come on, do your shopping here.
Thank you,
Okay.
Carol.
All right. Thank you,
And
Tom.
I hope I interview more often. We need to get all the board members here to talk
Okay.
openly.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Nothing. I'm talking to myself. So, thank you, Carol Friel. And I was going on about the crime statistics on the website. The CliftonCommunity.org website has a crime statistics if you want to see what's happening in the market. It's rather sobering. Typically, the businesses don't talk about robberies because it hurts business. But the statistics are now available from the city, and you really have to be careful. It's an urban setting. There's crime going on quite a bit. I went to the site, and it's hard to see that there are various rape incidents in the community. If you have any problem with the city, you can always call 513-591-6000 and ask them to fix a pothole or remove something or pick bulky trash items. Also, the city of Cincinnati now has a free app that you can request city service, report issues to the city administration that need corrected, or request a service. This could mean replacing a sign, fixing a pothole, removing graffiti, getting large bulky trash items picked up. Oh, hi. Oh, fine. Are you going to come over and say hello?
Oh, no, I'm not ready.
Oh, don't worry. It's it's dark today. You can't see anything. You don't have to worry about
I'm ready. Do you play guitar?
Well, yes.
You do?
Yes, occasionally I bring the guitar out. This one is an old piece of junk. See, I had to fix it here, see? So it doesn't really work.
Yeah, my daughter plays guitar.
But it only plays with a slide because it's so poor, but I do have my slide. Let's see if we can play a little bit here. Uh-oh, it's way out of tune.
Yes. No,
So-
just asking.
No, I'll tune that up later and play a little bit. But that's the Clifton Market guitar. It stays here all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should kind of put some on.
Well, I just leave it in the window here, and people can play it if they want to.
Okay.
I put a tuner in here
Okay.
so that you can tune it. I'll have to do that later.
Yeah, we appreciate you. You're doing a lot.
Well, we're trying to make sure that everybody has a wonderful experience here at the market. That's what we want.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
It's the truth, and that's the goal.
So I suppose you're going to be living here now.
Yes, I mean, I love this neighborhood. I really do. I just want to make sure that everyone understands that. Basically, it's just it's not all about the money. It's like, I think the hard work is what's needed, and the money will follow. But our goal is really to keep the market open, basically, and to do everything that that's possible to make it a market where all the shareholders as well as the neighborhood can come in here and shop and have a good experience doing it. So it's an iconic place, and it should remain a market.
No, I agree, and communication is so important with the customers to make sure that they feel like they're embraced and their needs are being met.
Sure, that's exactly. We're here to cater to everyone, so communication is very important. Saying hi and saying have a nice day and asking how's your day is really very important. It keeps everyone. You notice everyone coming in, and then you care about everyone and communicate with our customers, and in this case, our family, in a sense. It's one big community, so it's very important.
Thank you. We'll look forward to seeing each other on and off. I'll probably be broadcasting every third day or something like that.
That sounds good. Sounds really good. And thanks for your hard work.
Oh, we have to do what we know we can do.
Thank you. It requires a lot of hard work and commitment and passion. And, since I've seen you here, you do a lot. And, whether I'm here to continue to be here or still being around the community as a shareholder and as well as a shopper, I'll be very happy to support the place. And I'm very upheld by the amount of people that has a lot of interest and hard work and compassion about the Clifton market, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. We had a great time stocking the shelves the other day. I hope we can get more volunteers in here to do things, this and that.
We did have a bunch of volunteers that came in, and that was very appreciative, and we were very humbled to have everyone in here. I mean, it's a unique community. It really is a unique community. Concept of working together, kind of reaping the fruit of the hard work, and the community that actually belongs to the market, and catering to that community is, I can't express myself more than how I feel right now. If you can only see in my face that it's a joy. It really is a joy. To see it empty shelved and everyone being depressed was really a low point for all of us. But to see it where it is right now, and to think of where it could be and where it should be is yet to come, and it should make everyone excited. And I know everyone that works in here tell me how happy they are right now, and that matters. That matters. It really does.
I think anybody can come in and volunteer anytime they want. If they want to stock shelves, come here in the morning. Usually that's when stocking goes on. You can put the soup in the containers or whatever. It's very easy. It's easy to wipe the tables down or bag the groceries.
Yes, that's true. Everyone is welcome. Really, the door is open. It's basically what I wanted to say is your store working for you. That's how this market should be, really. So everyone is welcome. Volunteer, contribute, kind of tell us what you really want. The market is going to, dictate based on what the community wants. So we're here to do work in here.
True. Like your suggestions in the suggestion box mean something.
Yes, they really. I mean, they mean everything, actually. Everyone's opinion is well taken. So the suggestion box is very well needed, and I think someone always should open that up and read it to pretty much kind of engage themselves in what the people of the community of Clifton wants. It's all about the people, the community, and the fact that it's a healthy community, a lot of organic, fresh juices. Those are all our concept. Grass-fed beef. All those things are you are what you eat, and my belief is food should be the medicine.
Yes, I agree. I don't need to eat so much anymore, though. Whatever I do eat, I'm going to get here. Well,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And your name again?
Singh.
Singh.
Yes.
And your first name?
Gannett.
Gannett.
Yes.
And tell me the owner's first name again. I forget how to pronounce it.
It goes by Singh, basically.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
It's easier like you sing.
Oh, I understand.
It's
Okay.
easier like you sing a song.
Oh, I know. Everybody's named Mr. Singh. Anyway, is that? Are you from northern India?
Yeah, he's from North India. Yes. Yeah.
Well, I have a good friend that lives in Mumbai,
Okay.
but someday we're going to India.
Yeah, we all are. I believe we all have the same conviction, and we all do want, even though we might be different culturally and as well as upbringing, but I think the human nature always pretty much want the same thing, good things for our kids and a good lifestyle and everything that requires to be a decent human being is what we all want. I think at the end of the day, we're all the same. That's how I see it.
That's what I've learned from working here at the market, meeting the community, is that genius is in every strata, every denomination, every ethnicity. I meet geniuses.
I believe being different also brings in a different idea, a different look at things from a different perspective. That's what I wanted to say. So, that's the meaning of America, right? The melting pot, and kind of doing things from different perspective and make basically Clifton the way it should be. Clifton to me is really a melting pot. It's every creed of life is here, and it's a beautiful place, and we'll make it even more beautiful.
Yes, we really have a complete connection to international community here. Everybody who's from the Middle East to India to Asia lives in Clifton because we're welcoming. Yes, Africa too.
Clifton is, I think, to me, the open arm of Cincinnati. Yes. It really is. I mean, I don't know how I can explain myself, but I feel that way. When I first came in this country, this is where I felt like, okay, this seems like I can see somebody, that look like me, that doesn't look like me, and that, have a pocketbook like me, or have someone that's, everyone lives in here. That's what I meant by from the lifestyle as well as the kind of people that are in here. It's all different, and you feel like everyone belongs in here. And I've been in Cincinnati now 22 years, and still I'll say Clifton is the place to be.
Well, we're working to maintain that. So.
I have no doubt we'll maintain that. I've seen people that are passionate about the place, passionate about the neighborhood, passionate about the parks. So that's all you need, a passion and a hard work. You can't lose on that.
Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you. Super. Earlier we had a group sitting behind me. They were from Algiers. Algiers is below Tunisia, Morocco, on the west coast of northern Africa. You need my pocket knife?
Oh, no, good, thank you.
Okay. Well, let's, we got just about 12 more minutes. Let's go ahead and see what's happening on social media. Here. This is terrible. My partner, Irene Moore, wrote the post about Clifton Market Volunteer, and here Josh Grazeman from Camp Washington says, I'd really love to see the market succeed, but I'm afraid you're past the point of return if your business requires volunteers to perform basic hygiene or inventory. So I'm sorry, Josh. But there you go. No good deed goes unpunished. Let's see what's happening on Instagram. It's always fun to see the various shops on Ludlow post to Instagram, and we can get an update. SOS Sal Goshen of SOS Art Cincinnati has been posting the pieces on Instagram. It's a great thing to do. Thank you. Maya Jewelry has some exquisite turquoise jewelry, earrings, and a pendant. Come to Maya and find a set that matches you. There's another piece by SOS Art. The Clifton House has a bed and breakfast. They have a wonderful picture of the tenants enjoying themselves around the kitchen table. Nancy Niehaus of Clifton House gets all her food from the market. We've got three comments. Let's see what they are. I can see that some of the Croatians are missing. So I guess the Croatians went home. And there's a nice picture of breakfast at the Clifton House. It looks like asparagus with a couple of poached eggs and some canned meat, maybe on top of a potato pancake and some cheese sauce. I was hoping we would get a nice post from Sitwell's, but we haven't seen anything. Let's go to Facebook. There's a high school reunion. Peter McCann is having a birthday. Mike Anagusto of Villa Wine says, I was at Yateman's Cove this morning and I saw this flag down there. Does anyone knows what it is? It's an eagle on a blue field in the upper right-hand corner with stars around it, and then the stripes are blue and the white. And Adam Highland says, the Society of the Cincinnati flag is also flown on Fountain Square. So this is the Society of Cincinnati flag. Very good. Thank you, Adam. And that looks like that's all we have on Facebook. It's kind of a slow day. Let's see. Let's go to Twitter. See what they have on Twitter. Sorry, the Bearcats lost yesterday. Yeah. The morning after a loss is always tough. Extremely proud of your effort. The season's not over, and there's still a lot to be proud of and to play for. Still a bowl game to look forward to, and an opportunity for 11 wins for the first time since 2008. So that's the official text from Cincinnati football. Dream come true, boys, but as always, the whole world picks against us. Go show them how to get it done. And that's about all we got there. Oh, here comes Mr. All right, I'm live on YouTube. You want to come over and say hello? Let's go to another Clifton Cool. I've been reading the box set by James Patrick White, Clifton Cool. And we've got number 1, The Acts of Love and Terror. Story 2, Let the Gas Light the Way. 3 is Shed. 4 is Let's Do a Temple. Story 5 is Clifton, It's a Blast. Story 6, I'll Have the Beer, Hold the Deer. So why don't we read number 6? Clifton Cool by James Patrick White. You can pick up the complete edition at Lensis, right up the street. I'll have the beer, hold the deer. Mommy, are you planting flowers again? Yes, sweetie. Do you have OCD? No, the deer keep eating them. I love animals, but I give to PETA sometimes. Mommy dreams of being a big gun. I would reduce the population of these darn deer if you know what I mean. Daffodils are for lunch. Ah, awesome, says a deer, gazing at the daffodils. Meanwhile, an OTR. Why did you bring us here, Kip? He said he'd buy us lunch. I will, but first you gotta hear my great idea. What do you see all around you? And they say, net caps, neck tats, narcs? No, microbreweries. Listen, the craft beer taps are pouring like Niagara Falls. I say we start our own microbrewery and get rich quick. What do you know about making beer? Kip says, come on, Fred, how tough can it be? You get a vat, you throw in some hops, malt, and yeast and water, and then you make it a craft beer. You throw in something like lemons or vanilla, honey, chocolate, oregano, cinnamon, mayonnaise, anything. And you pour it in a bottle, slap an artsy label on it, and you're in business. Pilsner putzes come running with their wallets and throw money at you. Oh, hey, Reed. All right, I'm live on YouTube. You want to say hello? Did you sell that dryer? What dryer? Didn't you have a dryer on the next door? No. Okay. With some other post.
Okay. On horses.
No, I'm confusing you with another Reed Hartman. I forgot your name.
Okay.
Oh, Kevin. Yes. All right. Oh, right. Thank you, Kevin. Sorry. Okay. Well, I've read this issue before, but we're on a roll, so we might as well go ahead and read it. There's a ton of microbreweries out there, and we'd never stand out. Yes, that's why we open on Ludlow. Yay, I promised you lunch. Let's eat. And they show a little hot dog vendor on the street. Vendor, I'll take 3 doggies with everything. And the vendor opens up his thing and says, I'm not a hot dog vendor. This is a microbrewery. My God, Kip says, they're everywhere. A bit later at Kip's apartment, I still haven't eaten lunch. There's some leftover pizza in the fridge. Kip's apartment is above Lydia's on Ludlow in one of the spiral balconies. And how much does a beer vat cost? $3,000? What? Don't worry. My mom and dad just bought a new washing machine and they said I could have the old one. A washing machine? Is all the soap out of it? Yay. Hey, we want our beer to have a good head of foam on it, right? Ring, ring, ring. Howdy. I'm live on YouTube. Hello. Gigi. Sure, come on over. Who's Gigi? She's my gynecologist. So we rent a storefront on Ludlow. Whoa, you have a gynecologist, Kip? Did I miss anything? Yay, Kip's a woman. That explains all that strawberry yogurt in your refrigerator. Gigi, the gynecologist, is a friend of mine. We go deer hunting together. We go to Brunet Woods. I shoot a doe with my tranquilizer rifle. Then Gigi performs a hysterectomy on the deer. It's to reduce the deer population. Is she pretty? Oh yeah, she has these beautiful big eyes. And then again, if I was a gynecologist, I'd have big eyes too. Oh, hi, Jodie. Fine. Are you gonna sit down?
I don't know.
No? I was just posting on, I was reading your comment on Nextdoor about CCAC.
Oh, which comment?
Oh, the latest thread.
I'm not
that you
right.
said.
I'm not writing anymore. I don't know. It's gotten. I feel like I've said everything I don't know. I don't like the negative comments.
Oh, it's the underbelly of society.
Yeah, it's really too bad. I mean, I feel like people. It's certainly not out of a hate. I think I've said this before. Dislike for the arts in CCAC. It's just the park. So we had a wonderful bird walk today in Brunet Woods. Saw lots of saw hawks and cardinals and red-bellied sapsucker, 2 red-bellied sapsuckers, white-breasted nuthatches. What else did we see? A red-shouldered hawk flew over us and a turkey vulture. Lots of robins, of course. Heard a towhee in the woods, but didn't actually see it. So it's so great when you go out with people who know,
Yes.
Everyone knows different things, and you share that information so we could all teach each other different things. And it's people that I don't even, that I didn't know before. So it's really a neat thing. And it was a guest birder today, so
Yeah.
I don't always go. It was the second one I've been on.
And how come I don't know about that? Who sponsors that? Where is that listed?
So it should be listed on the if you go to the Preserve Brunet Woods Facebook page, there's a list of events, but I've heard that I'm going to have to look into why they're hard to find, because several people have said that too. But they should be listed on there. And Michael George has put up on the Trailside Nature Center's window kind of our little and his schedule, the schedule for the park, basically. So they're up there. Every Sunday, so far they've been doing a bird walk every Sunday. I'm surprised they're going into this. Last week was really cold. I went last week too, it was freezing. But today just happened to be a gorgeous day. And we do have resident birds. A lot of them migrate south for the winter. But there are a lot of them that stay in the park in Cincinnati, over the winter. So, and I think as, climate changes and it gets warmer and warmer here during the winter time, they're finding that more birds are extending their home ranges north.
So that was at 8 o'clock, right?
10.
10.
They have made it a little bit later. I'm getting over a nasty
Well, I had that down, but then they said the last walk was like in September or October, so I stopped mentioning it. But okay, 10 o'clock on
10
Sunday.
o'clock on Sunday mornings. Yeah, it's great.
Probably going to go throughout the all winter,
I
really.
presume these people are diehards. I'm a fair weather outdoor person, so as long as the weather's okay, I'll go. And if I'm around, but
10 o'clock then. I'll make a
Yep,
note of it
10
in my
o'clock, 10
little
o'clock Sunday
vast
mornings.
notebook.
Yep. And then the Sunday after Thanksgiving, Dennis Conover, who's a botany professor at UC, he's been doing plant walks, and I think his next one, and those are really great because then you get all of his plant knowledge, and and of course the plants don't move, and they're there, and some people come to bird too, so it's a lot of good information. Those are very popular. So, and he does those, I think, at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock. But maybe I'll post it on Nextdoor Clifton, a little schedule.
Well, I'm going to try and find out how to go right to it, usually by going to a Facebook page or something,
Yeah.
get the accurate information.
I've also seen the art show, the CCAC's art show in the Trailside Nature Center, and I love that space, and the art looks wonderful. It looks great there, and so happy to see the building open. And it's great. I mean, there should be things in there every weekend. So
No, I agree. It was a great use of the space.
Yeah, I love it, and I like the art. Yeah, the nature-inspired art. Yeah, it fits the site, so really nice.
Well, we're going to say goodbye. You can
Yeah.
say goodbye. This is the end of
Bye.
our show.
Oh.
We're going to see you in a few days. So.
All right.